And Kelsey Mitchell had a gargantuan game. Of course, Stephanie White, instead of letting her roll, this is the one thing I can honestly say I'm impressed with. Kelsey Mitchell is actually shooting well from the field lately. Took her out of the game. I don't understand what the deal is with that. I really don't.
The Chicago Sky planned a glamorous Barbie night, but what happened on the court wasn't so stylish. Kelsey Mitchell didn't just steal the show, she torched the Sky with 6 3-pointers, outscoring the entire team's first quarter total by herself. And did you catch the debut of Chloe Red Kryptonite, Bibby? She made her mark in under 11 minutes. But how did the Fever dominate so convincingly despite criticism of their performance? Let's break it all down. Imagine this: the Chicago Sky roll out Barbie Night, a pink-filled celebration for their fans, expecting a fun, flashy evening. But instead of a festive showcase, Kelsey Mitchell decides to turn the entire game into her own personal highlight reel. She walks into Wintrust Arena, surrounded by a hyped-up Sky crowd ready for a good time, but Mitchell isn't there to get caught up in the party vibes. She's there for business, and from the very first possession, you could tell the Sky were in trouble.
Well, looks like the Fever finally going to put the Chicago Sky away. 35 points. 35 points. It's impressive. 29 seconds left. It is 93-78. It took you long enough.
The Sky came out with some energy early, feeding off the crowd, but it didn't take long for Mitchell to flip the narrative. It's hard to imagine one player matching an entire team's scoring capabilities, but that's exactly what she did in the first quarter. 6 3-pointers. 6! She casually drained one after another, shooting 63% from the field over the course of the game.
This Chicago Sky team's not very good, folks. And they hung in with this Indiana Fever team, but it's been much improved. 12 of 19, 63%, 7 of 10 from three-point range. Really, it was about 1 minute and 40 seconds left before you could finally say, this game is put away.
And ended her night with a jaw-dropping 35-point performance. But it wasn't just about the sheer numbers. It was about how effortless she made it look. Take her first three-pointer of the game. The Sky's defense hesitated for a split second, and Mitchell punished them, sinking the shot cleanly. Then there was her transition pull-up three. She caught the defense completely off guard, stopping on a dime with a release so smooth it left defenders frozen in place. Every time Chicago seemed to regroup, Mitchell broke through again, zipping off screens, hitting deep shots, and even attacking the rim just to keep them guessing. It was as if no defensive adjustment could stop her.
And Kelsey Mitchell had a gargantuan game. Of course, Stephanie White, instead of letting her roll, this is the one thing I can honestly say I'm impressed with. Kelsey Mitchell is actually shooting well from the field lately. Took her out of the game. I don't understand what the deal is with that. I really don't.
7 of 10 from beyond the arc. That's the kind of efficiency you'd expect from your team as a whole on a great night, not an individual player. Watching her was like seeing an unstoppable force in action. The way she controlled the pace and silenced the crowd with every basket made it clear.
Let's check this out right here. Of course, this is supposed to be the arena that Angel Reese built, right? Kelsey Mitchell through 3 quarters. 30 points, 6 3-pointers at the time in Barbie's own arena. Glad to see Chicago giving Barbie a welcome to Sophie Cunningham.
This wasn't an ordinary performance. It was a statement. But while Mitchell dominated the headlines, the Fever had another secret weapon. How does a rookie like Chloe Bibby step onto the court and leave such a massive impact? Let's talk about that next.
To the Indiana Fever today, right after getting picked up 8 points in 10 minutes and 48 seconds. I have now nicknamed Red Kryptonite Chloe Bibby. Made her introduction. We're going to check this out. They're going to pass the ball out way downtown. Boom, that's her first Fever points.
You know what's crazier? Kelsey Mitchell wasn't the only story of the night. Enter Chloe Bibby. A rookie making her Fever debut with just over 10 minutes on the court, and expectations were understandably low. She's new, untested, and stepping into a game where the spotlight is already locked onto Mitchell, but no one.
Yeah, the actual real Barbie right there. This was like Barbie Day, something like that. And it was a single-digit game with about 2.5 minutes left. Kelsey Mitchell, get this, folks, 13 points in the first quarter.
Absolutely no one saw what she was about to bring. In those 10 minutes, Bibby didn't just show up, she made sure people knew her name. 8 points on crisp, confident shooting, all while holding her own against veteran players like Natasha Howard. Think about that. There are seasoned pros who take entire games to find any rhythm or confidence. But Bibby, she walked in and played like she belonged. Her nickname, Red Kryptonite, couldn't have fit more perfectly because she really was a destabilizing force for Chicago.
The Sky scored 13 points in the first quarter. She literally matched the entire Chicago Sky team in quarter one. That's unacceptable. This Sky team, terrible. They're absolutely putrid.
Every time the Sky tried to recapture momentum, Bibby checked in and kept them on edge. Take her first basket of the night, a smooth mid-range jumper with no hesitation. It was as if she'd done it 100 times at this level. Then came the moment she nailed her first three-pointer. The Fever were rolling, and Bibby stepped up as if she'd been leading the team all season. Her energy on defense was just as impressive. She wasn't just scoring, she was communicating, rotating, and keeping everyone fired up. For a rookie in her first game, that kind of poise is rare, maybe even game-changing. Compared to other players in their debuts, Bibby's contribution stood out for one reason: impact. Most rookies just want to survive those first minutes, but she didn't need time to adjust. Watching her spark the Fever felt like watching a small match ignite a bonfire. The Sky had no answers, no counter for how disruptive she was. Now, looking ahead, could Bibby be the piece the Fever didn't even know they needed? If this game is any sign, she's someone to watch. Mitchell might have been the headliner, but Bibby added the edge that made this win feel bigger.
And this still was a game with 3 minutes left, 2 minutes left in the game. It was still a game. And I understand that it finished out, not close, but that's too close. That's a 15-point game. And believe it or not, the Chicago Sky would get that game a lot closer. Again, I think at one point.
So what does all this say about the Fever's future? Let's unpack that next. Kelsey Mitchell didn't just secure a win for the Fever, she delivered a masterclass in scoring and efficiency, outshining an entire team in just one quarter. Draining 6 3-pointers while shooting 63% from the field, she proved why she's the centerpiece of this team. As the commentator pointed out, Kelsey Mitchell is actually shooting well from the field lately, and it's been much improved. With Chloe Bibby's spark off the bench and the Fever's talent shining through, it raises a question. Are we seeing the early stages of a real contender? Stick around because this is just the start of something special.